Just your position group seems like every day in practice you see them making a lot of good plays. How happy have you been with that group?
Extremely happy. We have a bunch of veteran guys who's back. We have a fresh nucleus of young players looking to make their mark on their team. So it's a good mixture, a combination of guys who are hungry, out there willing to work, and a very competitive group. So, we still got some position battles, going on, but for the most part, I think guys have solidified themselves, and I think we're trying to establish some depth right now.
How impressed have you been with the consistency of AZ and Fentrell?
Oh man, we just going into the off season, they knew that they had to step their roles up. I think both of those guys have approached it like pros. They come out every day, they work. They've been an example to the younger guys. They've made plays on the ball. It's just two veteran guys who handle themselves correctly the right way on and off the field, man. And it's paying dividends not only for our team, but for the young guys as well.
Fentrell seems to have made a jump this fall from last year. What are you seeing in terms of his level of play?
I just think the comfortability within the defense. Obviously, coming from Virginia, he was more of a bail off man guy. Here we're 85%, press man. So, just him getting the feel for that, and it takes some guys longer than others. But like I said, he's worked on it this off season, and you can tell that it's paying dividends. This fall camp.
You got a lot of really talented young DBs. Do they have any patience about them, or are they pushing to get out there?
Hey man, that's the life of college football now. Guys want to get on the field, but at Florida State, you want to have a room where you have 15 guys who you feel comfortable with playing, and I think we're somewhat around that number, guys who I feel comfortable with that can go in the game and give us valuable production. So, like I said, man, this football game is an unforgiving game. So I always remind the guys that they're one play away. So always prepare like a starter. I think those guys have taken heed to that and been good this camp.
Have any of those young guys exceeded your expectations this fall?
Well, the expectations has always been high for them. Ever since day one, those guys have shown that they're good football players. Obviously, some extenuating circumstances that's caused them to take a step back. But I think this camp, for the most part, they've been really good both on and off the field, man. And they're getting the extra studies in. They're learning from the older guys. Like I said, they're making plays each and every day. And come August 24th, when the pressure's on, you throw into that fire. I got to have trust as a coach. We got to have trust as a staff that you're going to go in the game and do the right thing. So we're just getting to prepare for that moment.
You had 3 guys go to the NFL from the secondary and 2 pretty high draft picks. Were you confident even back then that you guys wouldn't miss a beat, or have you gotten more confident as the year goes on?
I knew what we had coming back, especially when Fentrell decided to come back, and we have some great leadership in Shy Brown at the safety position, along with Kevin Noles, who was thrust into a position that we weren't comfortable with last year. Now he's back at his normal position. He's been lights out during camp, and just that addition of Devontae Brown, Earl, and the younger guys taking that next step. I knew that we would have a good group. It was just a matter of putting it all together, defining roles for guys and just going out there and letting them play.
How much fun has it been to see Kevin kind of come through the other side? Seems like he's playing with much more confidence again and making plays.
Yeah, man, he's a mature guy. He made plays here when he was a true freshman. Had some injury issues last year. He was playing a position, unfamiliar to him. Now he's back in solid grounds. He's a very, very cerebral football player. He's a humble guy, and he makes plays on the ball. That's what we need in our secondary, and I think he'll bring that to that unit this year.
Safety positions, how they fit with the corners. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, man. Like I said, we have Shaheem Brown's coming back, who played over 900 snaps for us, is a really, really key cog to our secondary, leader on his team. We got guys like Conrad Hussey who are looking to take that next step. Still a work in progress, but I think he's going to get there, eventually. Guys like KJ Kirkland and Ashland Barker, guys who, as a coach, I feel comfortable that they can go in the game and get the job done. And then when you add a guy like Devontae Brown, who has some meaningful snaps on his belt, started at corner, played a little safety. Now he's playing safety for us. A guy just bring that knowledge and experience to that secondary, only helps the group as a whole.
Coach Norvell got real excited last week a couple times when Edwin and a couple guys made plays where they weren't in great position but still made plays on the ball. Like, is that a learned thing, or is that just competitiveness? Like, what's the key to doing?
Yeah, it's some of everything. Obviously, you're not going to be in the best position on 100% of the ball, so I always tell the guys how you adjust. You know, you might not win at the line of scrimmage. What's your transition like? So we're just trying to get those guys to be grounded, man. You know, getting the snap from the sideline, being in the correct positions, and like I said, it's a work in progress. But we've made progress throughout camp. And come August 24, you know, I feel that I'm gonna have the confidence to be able to rely on all those guys.
Duke Cooper, who joined the team, and where does he fit into it, and what's your evaluation?
No, Duke brings some veteran presence to our team. He provides some versatility. He can play safety. He can play nickel. Obviously, he played corner in the past. So just his versatility, his leadership within the room, his special teams value. You know, he came into a situation where we had a loaded room. So he was kind of behind the 8 ball trying to fight his way up, but he's put his head down. He's worked ever since he's gotten here. And I think, you know, as the season goes, man, it's a war of attrition, you know, during this college football season, especially with the expanded playoffs. I think as the season goes on, he'll have a valuable role for this team.
He's obviously really talented. What have you seen from him, like, in the spring, getting here, and then now, and, like, his progress?
Yeah, it's just a matter of him getting healthy. Throughout the whole spring, he's coming off a shoulder surgery. He had the green jersey on, so he wasn't really full contact. Now, come fall practice, you know, he's full. You see him flying around, making plays, and I'm excited about him because I think he has a chip on his shoulder, you know, being hurt his first 2 years in college, you know, getting the opportunity to come to Florida State and join a really, really good DB room. You know, the competition has been great. You know, him and KP is going back and forth, so he's gonna provide some valuable playing time for us, and I expect him to go out there and make plays for us.
Coach Dugan's mentioned in an interview with us that Coach Norvell has tried to create a culture between the offense, the receivers, and the defensive backs of kind of helping each other, and that Dugan says he has that with you as well. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, man, we push each other every day. Every day in practice, we do releases with the receivers. You know, they give us looks, we give them looks, and you can tell it's a healthy competition. And at the end of the day, you know, it's going to benefit both sides of the ball. So, you know, we go out there and give those guys our best. You know, a lot of teams don't play, you know, press coverage like we do all the time. So just giving those guys a different look. So when they get in the game, you know, it'll become easier for them because, you know, you've been against the best guys in practice. So, like I said, man, it's a healthy competition. Guys respect each other. You know, we're not out there to try to hurt nobody, but at the same time, we're going to compete our tails off, you know, to make a play. So those guys get along on and off the field, man. It's a good group between the receivers and DBs.
The competition inside the group, too, some of these position battles are obviously really tight. Do you think the 5 guys or 4 or 5 guys that start in game 1 necessarily will be the same guys throughout the season, or do you think that competition is going to go on?
Like I said, man, as a DB coach, you know, you have to keep guys ready. Like I said, injuries occur in college football and in the game of football, period. So it has to be next man up. And I tell the guys all the time, if you're on the field, you're a starter. So I don't look at it as you're on the second team, third team. If I put you on the field, you know, you have a responsibility to this team to go out and be your very best. So I think that's how the guys are approaching it, and it's so far so good.
Coach, what have you seen on film from Georgia Tech, and how important is it to start that scout team work today?
Oh, man, they have a really good group. They want to run the ball. They led the ACC in rushing last year, so that's their bread and butter. Their head coach is a former O-line coach, so you know how he feels. He wants to bludgeon the defense, run the ball, play action pass, take shots, and they have some really, really quick receivers out there, you know, who can stretch the field. So, you know, they have a good team, man. They have some good skill position guys. The quarterback's really good. He's a dual threat guy, so we got to be worried about him both running and throwing the ball. But I think our guys will be ready for the challenge. We get a good sense of it from our receivers and the speed that they present to us. So I think it'll be some carryover to the Georgia Tech game.
Edwin Joseph's another, like, talented young guy. What have you seen from him?
Just continue to mature, you know, both on and off the field. I think, you know, people on the outside only see the on the field stuff, the football stuff, but it takes some guys longer to mature off the field, and I think he's hit that point where he's starting to trend up. He's been really good in practice. He's taking care of his body, making plays on the ball. Just some little nuances that we have to, keep dealing with him to get him to that point. But I like his progression so far.